Okay, I believe we are just getting live here. So we will kick things off. I appreciate everyone taking time out of their day today to be here. And so welcome to the joint webinar between Rocket.Chat, Pexip, and Bluescape to discuss the complete air-gapped collaboration suite that our organizations have been working on building and integrating together to take to market. And again, just wanted to say thank you for all of the attendees who did take time out of their day today to register and attend. And so to set the agenda, we're going to be covering a lot of items today. And so first, I'll go through a few housekeeping items for the live stream. We'll do some brief introductions, and then we'll get into today's content, which is going to cover the new partnership and integrations, why we forged this partnership. You will get the chance to learn about each company and product. You will also get the chance to see a live demonstration of the tools all working together and integrated, as well as some of the common use cases that we cover across Fed, SLED, defense, and IC industries, as well as how this compares to other products in the market today. So there's a lot of content that we're excited to cover with everyone. And so for the housekeeping items, we do have the option for attendees to ask questions today. If you look in the bottom right-hand section of your screen, you'll see chat and questions listed there. Those questions will be private, and we do have team members standing by to assist with those questions. So don't be shy. Feel free to post them there, and our team members will either assist in real time or hopefully we'll have a few minutes at the end for a little bit of Q&A as well. And today's session will be recorded. It will be shared out via email for all attendees and registrants as well. And lastly, we would love to see where everyone is calling in from today. So within the chat section, please go ahead and list out what part of the world you're calling in from. So let's get into the fun stuff today. We'll start with some introductions. We do have presenters from all three organizations, Rocket.Chat, Pexip, and Bluescape. So I'll start from the Rocket.Chat perspective. My name is Tom Mersman, and I'm the head of sales for North America here at Rocket.Chat. And I've been working in high growth technology companies for the last 14 years now. I've sold across a variety of industries, heavily focused on government, Fed, and SLED ultimately. But I also have come from a cybersecurity company previously. And so I've sold to a lot of highly regulated industries, also things like financial services and healthcare. And Pete from Pexip, I will kick it over to you.
Great. Thanks so much, Tom. It's great to be here. My name is Pete McCarthy, so I'm VP of Public Sector. So that's all things government and healthcare here in the U.S. And really my background is really a combination of both. I guess you could say my expertise is the federal government. And again, really excited to be here to share this great solution with the audience.
And Steve, we'll go to you next.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. So Steve Pryor, based in the UK, look after sales for Bluescape across the EMEA region. I was just having a tot up, probably 25 years or so experience working with customers and partners in the collaboration and video space.
Great. Thank you, Steve. And we're also going to be joined by two technical members of the teams today. We have Young Hindi, who is a solutions engineer for North America at Rocket.Chat, as well as Alfie Latour, who is the director of solutions engineering at Bluescape. So Young and Alfie, if you guys want to join and just say hello and show face for a second, that'd be great.
Hi, everyone. Young Andy here. Looking forward to providing an awesome demo for you guys.
Yep. Good morning, everyone. Great to be here. Look forward to it.
Cool. Thanks so much, everyone. And Young and Alfie will be running the live demonstration for today, so you can see the products interacting together. Pavi, we can go to the next slide, please. Great. So let's start with the problem that our organizations have come together to ultimately aim to solve for government and defense entities. And so as we all know, across government, Fed, SLED, DoD, IC, there's a real lack of secure integrated communication networks for dispersed forces. And ultimately, that means it's very challenging for those entities that run in mission critical scenarios to be able to collaborate efficiently and effectively from a single pane of glass. And that is something we hear from our customers and prospects alike, just the lack of a secure, integrated, singular tool for all of their communication needs. And so, across defense, as an example, that involves various geographically dispersed armed forces and agencies. And for that unified defense, these branches must be interoperable through a secure communication platform that allows the exchange of classified information and intelligence. And we know mission communications need to be completely private because the stakes are so high ultimately. And data breaches can compromise sensitive information, things like operation planning and intelligence, and ultimately national security. And every department or branch relies on separate communication networks and tools for their communication needs. So this creates isolated and or siloed pockets of information. And that's where important details can fall through the cracks at the wrong time ultimately. And so the lack of having a complete picture can handicap commanders, as an example, from making well-informed and intelligence-led decisions. And lastly, we know that ground forces today operate in extremely challenging environments. It's really difficult for them to get a comprehensive view of the situation or relay information in real time to establish complete situational awareness if they don't have access to that unified view, or if they don't have access to the right personnel and people at that exact moment in time. So that is ultimately why we've come together. And that's one of the problems that we're trying to solve for government and defense entities as a whole. Pavi, you can hit the next slide, please. Great, thank you so much. So as an introduction to the partnership and, taking a step further, why we're joining forces. So Rocket.Chat, Pexip, and Bluescape have joined forces to create a secure and comprehensive collaboration suite designed specifically for defense organizations. It is applicable to other highly regulated industries, but we did have government and defense in mind as we forge these partnerships and integrations. And so this collective toolkit is engineered to support a range of missions by empowering defense operations with a secure, dependable, and unified communication system across varying classification levels, from secure remote offices to high stakes extreme environments to ultimately achieve mission success. And all of this is done in a unified air-gapped environment. And so Pete and Steve, excuse me, anything else you guys would like to add here for why we're joining forces?
I think from my side, it's a great summary to come together with the other two organisations to provide that on-premise air-gap solution, because many tools are available at a cloud level, but once you move up the security stack, it's really important to be able to deliver that capability at the higher levels as well.
Yeah, just to add to that, Tom, I think as a software company, our focus is the visual piece, right? We want to see you. That's our secret sauce. But I think the great thing about this partnership is really Pexip built this platform with security in mind. We didn't add security after the fact. The security architecture was built in from the very beginning, as well as the ability to customize, which we'll talk about a little bit more. So to be able to integrate with Rocket.Chat and Bluescape, but do it in a secure way, that's really how we built our product in the first place.
Yeah, it's such a great point too. That's where all of our organizations started, which is what made this partnership across the three organizations make so much sense ultimately.
Yeah,
thanks.
Definitely.
Yeah, thanks to both of you. Pop, you can go to the next slide, please. Okay, so we are going to have our first poll of the day right now. And if you take a look at the bottom right, or it popped up for you right there, it'll ask you if you'd like to receive a white paper about the air-gapped secure collaboration platform. So you can click yes or no right there. I'm going to click yes, obviously. We'll give everyone 2 seconds to finish that, and then we'll jump into the next slide. Great. Okay, so we're going to take a minute now and actually go through the separate products and the companies for a minute so that you can understand where we're all coming from, what each solution provides, and why it makes sense that they are now packaged together. And so I'll start from the Rocket.Chat perspective. And as we all know, in the world of defense, effective communication isn't just a necessity. It is a matter of national security a lot of times. And so that's where Rocket.Chat comes into play. So Rocket.Chat is the trusted defense communication platform across varying classification levels, right from the HQ to the farthest deployed troops in some scenarios. But it's much more than just straightforward messaging. Rocket.Chat enables you to collaborate and communicate in real time on mission strategies. You can share and manage mission critical information, You can connect with partners, other agencies, and allies to exchange classified intelligence, regardless of the location or tools that they're currently utilizing. And we understand, for those of you in defense or any highly regulated industry for that matter, protecting your data is essential and it is mission critical. And that's why we give you the ultimate flexibility in choosing the deployment option that suits you best. So as Steve had even hinted, with all of these solutions, you can run them on-prem or you can run in 100% disconnected mode, which we refer to as air-gapped. And we can support all of your deployment needs to ensure you have complete and total ownership over all of your data. And this is what truly sets us apart from all of the other capabilities and tools that we provide, as well as the other competitors in the market today. And some of the other tools that we do provide for government and defense organizations are things like having access to 180 plus different role-based permissions so that you can get really granular in terms of what you allow a user to do or not do in the platform, as well as having fully auditable conversations when necessary, along with many other security features that we do provide government and defense organizations. And we will hit on some of those later in the live demonstration as well. I believe we're going to have another poll pop up as well coming up in just a second. But, you know, Pete, I'll kick it over to you from the Pexip side for the introduction and a brief summary of the product as well.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Tom. As I talked about earlier, we're a software company, and we've built our collaboration platform. And the way it works is that our software sits on virtualized servers. Now, those servers can be in the cloud or they can be on-prem. Obviously, today we're talking about an air-gapped on-prem environment. So I think that's really important to highlight. But again, we built security from the beginning. And really what that architecture allows us to focus on is information security and everything that goes with that. Here in the US, the big buzzword is zero trust. We're able to adhere to zero trust architecture because of the way we built this platform, for example. We're also hearing a lot about data privacy and data control. We want our customers to feel like their data isn't going somewhere it's not supposed to, and that they have complete control over the data. That's a hot topic lately. And as we'll talk about throughout this presentation, we can also customize workflows for organizations and bring AI is a hot topic lately. Bring these artificial intelligence applications into our platform. Next slide, please. So our mission is real simple. We're video conferencing people, or VTC, for those that might be in the military or have heard that term. And we believe that video communication should be available to all organizations, regardless of the platform or regardless of the security requirements. We really want that call to connect every single time, no matter where you're calling from. We do this by focusing on three main product areas, as you can see from the slide. Connected Spaces is often referred to as our interoperability capabilities. Probably best known for our gateway product with Microsoft Teams. And then on the right, we talk about our Secure Spaces, which really includes the on-prem deployment, the on-premise deployment, again, used heavily in government organizations, especially the US military, and our custom spaces. And really what we're doing there is we're using the APIs and the SDK tool sets to build these custom workflows. And that's where we can really, get sticky with our customers, as we like to say, because we're delivering that custom experience. And this, of course, is how we're doing this with Rocket.Chat and Bluescape today. It's the ability to customize our product to offer these unique capabilities. Next slide, please. And then finally, because we're spending so much time and effort on these two terms that we call secure and custom spaces, we're doing this because this is what our customers are telling us they want. This is where we see the market opportunity. So this is where we're going to pour our innovation in really over the next several years, these two spaces. So you're going to hear a lot more about what Pexip's doing on-prem, air-gapped, and with great partners like Rocket.Chat and Bluescape. So that's it for me. And Steve, I'll hand it over to you.
Thanks a lot, Pete. Yeah, so really just to introduce Bluescape. So we're a secure visual intelligence solution that brings together people with all of the content that's related to a particular project or task or meeting, and enables them to make informed decisions much more quickly by having all of that information in a single space, in a single piece of glass. And really, we make it easy to share that information. So we're much more than just a whiteboarding product. We're able to bring all of that intelligence together so that you get real-time situational awareness and are able to immerse yourself in all of the different data sets, whether that's documents and information, whether that's web feeds and live video streams, or whether it's using our API to interact and link to external applications, AI applications, machine learning applications that can bring that data into focus. And we've got a long pedigree. We said earlier, all of the companies have really grown up from a secure by design methodology. So we're not a purely commercial product that's been adapted to fit the defense space. We've really grown up with some 8+ years of experience now of servicing defense and intelligence customers with a secure solution that they can really trust with their data. And we're deployed in a mixture of cloud. Sorry, just back one, just when I finish that slide. Thank you. So we're deployed in a variety of different environments, both public cloud, private cloud, and on-premise air-gap solutions. So a variety of different impact levels, from 4 up to secret and top secret with our intelligence community customers. And we also last year very proud that we reached FedRAMP certification. So this allows government departments to purchase Bluescape securely in a government cloud environment. And rather than starting off with a blank canvas, you can use our pre-built templates to streamline your workflows and get work done much more quickly by bringing in those strategic flowcharts and operational workflows to help you build out the solution. So next slide, please. So we'd like to think we really deliver in a number of different mission critical areas and help to get a clear picture and clarity by surrounding the users in all of the data. So whether that's bringing everyone together and keeping them on the same page within a workspace, whether that's capturing ideas during a whiteboarding session more often than not now with hybrid workforces, people are no longer in the same room. So it's important to give everyone an equal seat at the table to be able to get their ideas across and really get the wisdom of crowds thinking working. And within our customers, particularly in the US Department of Defense and National Security, they trust Bluescape to hold this information securely in their on-premise and air-gapped environments. And we also have the capability to bring in approved cloud file sharing capabilities if those are allowed within the organization. That could include the co-editing of documents as an example. So bringing in something from SharePoint and being able to co-edit that directly inside of Bluescape, for example. And bringing all of that information together, we can organize within canvases so that everyone can go straight to the point of interest for them within their workspace and enable them to get that information communicated across the whole team. You can mark up and annotate information just like you can on a whiteboard. You can use our commenting capability to mention to someone that you've made some updates and to get them to review next time they come on to the workspace. And we integrate with all, as Pete said, there's a variety of different video conferencing solutions out there, and using Pexip to bring those all together to provide the audio visual track for the visual communications and collaboration that Bluescape brings. And really, just to finish off, our open API lets us integrate with products like Rocket.Chat and Pexip, but it also gives you the ability to, for example, upload a video into Bluescape, send that off for AI analysis to add context to the video, and then bring that back in and make it searchable inside the workspace to really start to deliver some value and situational awareness. So that's it from my side. So I'll hand back.
Great. Excuse me. Thank you, Steve and Pete. And so let's take a moment just talking about some of the common use cases that we solve for with this new joint offering. There's obviously pieces of each product that are coming together for this unified collaboration suite. I think, Steve, you'll hit the first one.
Yeah, so I think really to be able to visualize all of the intelligence data that comes together, and to help people to bring all that information onto a single pane of glass, inviting people on a need-to-know basis into the workspace to be able to access and contribute their ideas, and really provide that platform to help make decisions more quickly once you're surrounded by all of the data. If you compare that to a traditional video conference where you're maybe just switching screen shares between different presenters or different members of the team, within Bluescape, everyone's in a persistent workspace, and can really pull that together and use the tools to best effect.
Exactly, which is what makes it so powerful. And then another one is just secure messaging in real time. And so what the DoD, IC, and federal contractors need is fully non-readable private messages. They need the role and permission-based access control. They need the ability to integrate with zero trust environments, like Pete had mentioned earlier as well. And they need the ability to audit every conversation with information governance. And so with Rocket.Chat, you have the ability to protect confidential mission data from interception or tampering or even unauthorized access. And you have the ability to communicate with complete data privacy and data security, which is paramount for this industry and vertical ultimately. And then Pete, I think you'll hit the last one.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think we've hit the security side pretty hard, but I think one of the things that I find very interesting, and I think this speaks to the solution we're presenting, but also, specifically to what Pexip is doing is, as we continue to have more global incidents, what it's doing is forcing our customers, especially the military and the IC space, to think differently about how they communicate, and not just the standard stuff that we all expect, where it's got to be, JITC certified for the military and things like that. But it's the fact that they now have to communicate with different organizations in a different way. And I think that's what is so amazing about the Pexip platform, is that it really gives them that capability to interoperate, even when sometimes they've never done it that way before. So again, I think that speaks to the power of the platform. And that's what we're finding. That's the real world stuff that we're finding right now, as this world continues to change.
Well said. And I believe we're going to kick it over to Young and Alfie for the live demonstration of the products all integrated and working together in real time.
Awesome, thank you. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly see during the demo how I can start a quick private secure conversation with a coworker. They might be with the team about an operation, an investigation, or whatever other confidential, secret, or top secret conversation. During that chat and part of that conversation, anyone can start a video conference. We're going to see that get spun up during the call. We may want to escalate then to a more visual way to collaborate through a whiteboarding session. And we're going to go through that as well. And then just keep in mind, everything that we'll be demoing here can be deployed in an air-gapped environment, provide a high-level granular permission, security, and encryption around those three solutions. Oh God, I'll take the ball and I will share my screen. Okay, thumbs up, everyone can see. Want to make sure before I start. Awesome. Okay, so here we're sitting in Rocket.Chat, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a quick conversation again with a few of the folks that are on here. So I'm just going to call it 2024. Add a couple of members, Alfie, and create a quick chat. So real quick, through permissions, obviously right now I'm an admin user. I can have access to create these various different chat rooms. So as an admin, I can control those users through those permissions. Go ahead and see that Alfie's already typing, so I can go quickly notify everyone about the room. So during the conversation, we can upload files. We can have threaded conversations, use emojis, throw videos in here. Ultimately, we want to be able to start a video conference, so I can start a call. What that's going to do, it's going to notify everyone within that room. So only people within that channel can have access to the Pexip conference. I can quickly see the participant list from here. But if I also flip back over, you can see that Alfie joined. Thank you. We can start breakout rooms. I can invite others that are not part of this room or this channel. I can invite those users here. I can provide them a guest pin and they can join. I can share my screen through Pexip. We can see that, we have a quick attendee list that we see that Alfie joined, I joined. We have also a call manager. So if there were other calls going on within the chat room, we can see those ongoing. We can freely join and leave those as we need. And if we wanted to visually collaborate, I can spin up a quick Bluescape workspace. And what we're going to see here is going to be a very blank workspace. I can throw a template, as Steve was mentioning, to get quickly spun up and get going and collaborating. So if I grab a quick template, we throw this here on the workspace. We can already see that Alfie is already working together, collaborating out of here. While that's spinning up, hopefully my screen is loading. Sorry, it might be my internet. It's going a little slow. So we can see all the different users. So when I spun up the Bluescape workspace, we have a couple of users that already have access. If they didn't have access, they would let me know. I can come back through here. I can change the level of access they have. I can obviously remove them. I can also invite others. And I'll use some of these hotkeys real quick, and I'll throw some of my own. Then we can connect these if we wanted to. What I'll do too as well, I'll kind of zoom in on this. I can expand it a little bit, and again, we can compare notes. So I'll take an example PDF, throw it into here. We can collaborate out of here. And then ultimately, if I wanted to share this again back in that chat room, I could take a quick screenshot. So let me zoom out. I can export it. So I'll let Alfie continue working on that. So what I did is I just took a quick export of it as a picture. I'm going to grab in my folder, and I could throw that picture right back into here, actually. I can share it with the rest of the team. I don't know what we've collaborated out of. So in that example, it's going to be a blank workspace, but more realistically, you're going to be working out of something that's similar to here. So I'm going to flip over to another tab. And here is going to be Operations Command Center, a lot more content here, something a bit more what you would be working out of.
Yeah, yeah, quickly. I think what you saw as an example there, just being able to quickly move the conversation to needing to focus on something more visual. In that instance, quickly, as often, a lot of our customers need is just a quick whiteboard to do something like maybe an agile exercise, like what we saw there, retroactive. But additionally, a lot of the use cases we support more advanced, functionality, like what you see here in an operations center, where you need, real-time logging coming into the platform, web applications, high resolution imagery, live and on-demand streaming video, live documents. So we can sort of bring all those things together to sort of create a better contextual picture. So, Young just flipped over to this to give another example of the types of features and use cases that we can support, which I think Steve is going to touch on here shortly as well. So thanks for that, Young.
No, thank you. Okay. Again, it's all about how quickly and easily can we collaborate through secure chat, escalating it to a video conference, moving over to a more visual way of collaborating through Bluescape, and bringing those all together within a single secure environment within Rocket.Chat. And I'll give it back over to Tom.
Great. Thanks so much, guys. Yeah, and hopefully everyone sees the power of being able to have all of your collaboration needs embedded within these different tools, right? And just as Young had mentioned, being able to elevate from Rocket.Chat and the messaging into a video conference, into the whiteboard scenario is very powerful. So thank you both for demonstrating that in real time. So moving on, let's talk just a little bit about the interoperability use case and benefits. And so this is a common use case, we've been discussing internally and we hear from our prospects and customers alike, and that's the ability to connect and collaborate with your mission partners, regardless of the tool, device, or location that they're utilizing. And the benefits of that are that you can securely exchange classified information and intelligence ultimately. You can share cross-departmentally, you can share across agencies and other allies, really however you need to communicate. And you have the convenience of secure cross-platform messaging. So this eliminates the need to juggle multiple tools at once. And it streamlines your communication by being able to have that effective communication in real time, elevate to the video conference or whiteboard scenario as well. And it's also the single platform for combined intelligence. Right, as you just saw in the demonstration, the joint offering gives ease of having gathered information from different sources in that single pane of glass, which we believe is very unique for this industry and also provides the ultimate efficiency. And lastly, you can safeguard all of your mission data, right? We've hinted at this multiple times, and we will continue to do so because of how important it is. But you have things like secure file sharing and data loss prevention policies that are all customizable for what your mission or project requires. And Pavi, you can hit the next slide, please. Yeah, I'll kick it over to Pete from Pexip for the Skype for Business replacement, as we all know that's being deprecated.
Yeah, so again, this is something that I think is pretty cool. That we're doing, again, speaks to the power of the platform. And really what we see in government is there's just a ton of legacy applications and legacy equipment that's still out there. And it's just not realistic to forklift upgrade everything and start fresh. The budget cycles really don't allow that. And that's a big lift for any government customer as well. So what's really cool is we've created this integration with Skype. You say, why Skype when the whole world is converted to Microsoft Teams? And the answer is probably what you guess. It's really all about security, because these customers that are using Skype are using it because of the unique security that they need, on their classified sensitive network. So really what we've done is we've created a native experience by integrating with Skype. And alongside Rocket.Chat, we really created this elegant solution that allows you to have that secure video and secure chat. So it's again something that people get surprised that we're even spending time on. But again, we think there's a market for it out there. So for those that are looking for a Skype replacement, I think we have one of the few in the industry that gives that unique experience.
I know it's definitely top of mind from the UK, Pete, so that definitely resonates over here as well.
Great.
Of course. Yeah, I think, Pavi, you can go to the next slide, please. We'll kick it to Alfie.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We've heard a lot about security, and it's we wanted to make sure we took some time to talk about security in general across what is the solution as opposed to specifically to each product. I think we heard everybody kind of talk about the three products individually and their commitment to security, but the solution, as I'll kind of refer to it here, which is sort of the way we refer to this suite of capabilities, is really engineered specifically to cater to the unique needs of mission owners. And we've also obviously hardened it to meet the standards required for intelligence use, intelligence with a capital I, of course. It's robust and resilient enough to withstand the demands of, what is ultimately constantly changing missions. I think we hear that a lot from customers is, missions are dynamic, and so the needs and requirements of the tools they use need to be able to adapt to those sorts of things. And it's scalable so that we can the tool itself or the solution can be effective from everything from small teams all the way up through entire organizations, as we've seen. I think one of the key benefits of the solution, and we've talked about it, throughout all three individually, is really that flexibility and deployment. So it allows you to deploy the solution according to whatever the mission's requirements are. It could be in a secure private cloud. It could be on-premise in a managed data center, and then, of course, in a fully air-gapped environment if you need to operate in that disconnected mode, as Tom mentioned earlier. Regardless of that deployment model, all the security policies built into the solution are there to protect mission-critical conversations and data from things like unauthorized access, interception, tampering, those sorts of things. I think we talked about, Tom, I think it was Tom that mentioned information governance. And again, that's a theme you'll see implemented across the solution. Providing detailed audit logs so you've got access to every activity that takes place across the platform. Enforcing advanced granular permissioning, right? Whether that's attribute-based access control, role-based access control, at a granular level to things like individual features, secure file sharing, and individual pieces of data. Ensuring that there is data loss prevention in place, which is obviously super important when you think about things like in the commercial world, we would say business continuity, but here mission continuity, which is the same thing. Making sure that everything is super certified against data loss prevention. And then finally, I think the standard sort of data encryption, advanced authentication, identity management, being able to interoperate with whatever your identity management platform is so that you can put the access controls in place that need to be there. All three of our organizations and the solution as a whole, trusted partner to numerous federal agencies, NGA, U.S. Army, U.S. Navy, the Air Force. We've got authorities to operate within the Department of Defense, which I think has been mentioned, all the way up through the top secret level for our information community, and deployment at several impact levels. So really, it's a demonstration that we can operate across several impact levels based on what agency, what the mission needs. And I think lastly, we talk about the certifications, which have been listed, I think, on a couple different slides. They're listed again here. Certainly the commercial certifications such as ISO 27001, SOC 2 Type 2, which are in this space and mostly in the private space, but also in this space, a baseline. But then also certifications like FedRAMP and the Iron Bank certification. I think these certifications really just demonstrate our commitment to providing trusted solutions across both the private and public sector, but really geared in this case specifically towards the Department of Defense and the federal government. And back over to you guys.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alfie. And so just a quick competitive matrix, to understand how the joint offering compares to the other products that are in the market today. And so this joint offering between our organizations, from our perspective, is the platform you can trust for mission critical communications, right? And the big difference is that it is the single pane of glass for all of your mission communication needs. It gives you the complete data privacy and security that we've been discussing. You have all of those flexible deployment options that have been mentioned as well. You have interoperability among different branches and allies and agencies. You have the centralized virtual workspace for ground forces. And you also have all of the rich functionality and advanced collaboration features that your mission needs, which is why we believe this is the more modern collaboration experience for government and defense ultimately. Pavi, you can hit the next slide. Thanks so much. Yeah, just in terms of, the ease of procurement and purchase, we've listed some of the contract vehicles that we are listed on here. Obviously, GSA, NASA SOUP, NASPO being some of the big ones ultimately. But we've also listed out a few of our partners, because every organization here today between Rocket.Chat, Pexip, and Bluescape has very rich partner ecosystems. And so you have the ability to utilize and purchase the joint solution through the partners that you guys are already utilizing and have been approved to purchase through today. And so we try to make it as easy as possible to get our joint solution implemented for your mission or your requirements specifically. And next slide. Great. So I think we have one last poll coming up, if I'm not mistaken. So you should see that pop up in just a moment. But, we wanted to thank everyone that carved out time out of their day again for this. We know it's a Tuesday morning, so thank you for taking an hour with us, obviously. But you will see our contact information listed here. We are going to follow up with the webinar recording. We will be following up with the white paper as well. And we're very excited to meet with attendees individually and ultimately learn how this joint solution can impact your mission and how it can improve and streamline communication efforts, whether it's for your agency, your organization, whatever it may be. But again, our contact information is listed here, and thank you so much for carving the time out of your day. And so we did finish a little ahead of schedule, which is great. I think we might have time for a couple questions, but I also want to be cognizant of everyone's calendars, knowing they probably have meetings coming up as well. So let me just take a look at the question section and see if there's anything else that we can answer. I did see one question earlier on that was asking about the tarball offline installation method for Rocket.Chat. You probably did notice on our website that we do have tarball listed as coming soon. I don't have the exact date in mind, but I believe it is a short to midterm roadmap item. So I will talk to our engineering team after this, and I can follow up separately for the expected release date for that tarball method. I do see another question. Will the recording be available after the session? Yes, and we will be sending it out to all attendees and registrants as well. Let me see if there's anything else. Give me just a moment here. Yeah, there was another question that mentioned, how is this air gapped if it's already in place, and how, please, which I believe is referencing air gapped installations, which we are happy to engage in a one-on-one conversation and figure out the best air gap deployment method for your organization. There are different methods that entities utilize for the installation. So we're happy to talk through that and see what makes the most sense. And then there was a follow-up question. If it's all on separate networks, how does the network integration happen? Or is it tailored per customer? The answer is going to depend. And Young, if you have additional insight you want to come to the floor and mention, that's great. But it probably is a tailored per customer scenario depending on the use case and requirements. And so I would suggest a follow-up meeting individually so we can make sure that we can walk through that with you in real time. Unless, Young, you think I missed anything.
No, I think you covered it. No, exactly.
Okay, great. I don't believe there are any other questions that I saw. Let me just double check. We did see one. This just came in. What is one or two features that make Rocket.Chat better than Element? Which is a great question, obviously. Some similarities, across the board, where both products have the ability to be run in an air-gapped environment, obviously. One of the things that I have heard from customers that have transitioned from Element into Rocket.Chat is heavy on the UI and user experience more than anything. And so, as I was mentioning the role-based permission policies earlier as well, those were developed in conjunction with one of our customers from the DoD. And so what you'll see there is having access to the 185, I believe now, role-based permission policies, is those were created in conjunction with the customer for a real live use case, which makes the UI much simpler and easier to understand for end users, but gives admins the capability to really lock down how users should be utilizing the platform ultimately. So those are a couple examples that I would say. Another is we do offer omni-channel capabilities as well. Rocket.Chat can be embedded with our chat engine product, which we do see in government and defense as well. And so we do have some additional capabilities that other competitors in the market don't have today. So I believe that is it for all of the questions. Also would like to thank all of the moderators here today, Steve from Bluescape, Pete from Pexip, Young from Rocket.Chat, and Alfie from Bluescape as well. And thank you to Pavi for managing the slides. So that'll conclude today's live webinar. We hope to hear from everyone soon, and thank you so much.
Thanks a lot for joining.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.